Welcome everyone, and welcome to Cryptoamalounge. I'm your host Black Adam, and today we have Jay and his team in the house from Master Key Finance. Not his team. We were talking about. He was telling us that there are 4 days left in his launch, and his team is super busy. So we have Jay only in here today. So Master Key Finance is a BSC platform having the most income rewarding DeFi token. There are 4 streams of wealth for holding MKF and 5 streams if the holder is holding 500 plus P of MKF. We are gonna dissect every aspect of the Master Key Finance with Jay here. So Jay, before we get talking about the Master Key Finance, give us a quick background of who you are, what did you do before crypto, and how you got to be working in the crypto space today.
Hey, absolutely. So, hey, my name's Jay, right? I've been in crypto since about 2016, 17 time frame. I rode the highs, I rode the lows. I've won some, lost some. Made a lot of good connections, a lot of good friends in the crypto space, specifically DeFi. A lot of people still think it's the wild, wild west, and to be honest with you, I kind of agree with that. But I do think DeFi is the wave of the future. Crypto was designed to be decentralized. And really that's what caught my eye. That's what really caught my attention. And with my core team, when we got together, sitting around sipping bourbon and whatnot, that we realized that it's not a bad space. They're just things that can be made better. And that's the whole premise behind our platform. A little bit about me. So I got about 25 years of engineering experience. I'm a veteran. Everybody on my core team is a veteran, and they bring their own little niche and speciality to the fight, if you will. We're fully doxed through the LLC in the state of South Carolina. So we are also fully doxed and KYC through anti-docs. Third-party audits complete, third-party audits pending. We've got all kinds of audits and KYCs and stuff going on. So extremely vetted, 100% American team, so we absolutely can be trusted. But we're hoping to bring something awesome to the space, man.
Yeah, that's quite an intriguing story you have, and I believe that having friends in here is really necessary. I believe together we can make things better. So that's quite an interesting story you have. So how did you end up starting Master Key Finance then?
Really, we just sat around and talked about how, as a holder, we're extremely pigeonholed on what we're allowed to do. I mean, yeah, we can buy tokens, we can sell tokens, we can buy coins, we can sell coins. And we got the choice of which KEX or DEX to utilize. But that's really pretty much the extenuation of what we're allowed to do as far as the freedom and flexibility within the crypto space. So we thought that was wrong. We think that the holder should have more flexibility and freedom to do what they want to do as a holder. I mean, if you think about it, when you buy a car from the dealership, that's not your only option to get rid of the car. You should be able to sell the car to whoever you want to without going back to the dealership. To use an analogy, for instance. Also, we see a lot of really good platforms out there with a lot of really good case use and utilities that can bring something powerful to the space. But, due to bad marketing or stovepipe marketing or some kind of nefarious actor on the team, whatever the situation may be, it's not well known. It's not out there. They're struggling to survive and continue to exist, and we want to be able to help them out as well. So that was really the premise and the start behind Master Key. I mean, the name Master Key is pretty much to unlock all crypto possibilities. That's kind of where we came from. As long as there's a problem in the space or something that can be made better, we're going to have viability and legs underneath us to keep running that run. So we're pretty excited about it. Can't wait to talk about it today.
Yeah, that's really great, and we have a lot of I have specifically a lot of questions for Master Key Finance project. So we'll just move on to my first question. As I was reading that MKF token holders, people will receive dividends in the form of BUSD. So will you guys be selling your own tokens to get BUSD for giving dividends to the holders, or how will it work?
So I'm going to say yes and no, and here's why. So we've split our liquidity on launch between Pancake Swap, as everybody knows, passive incomes. And the way that works is basically when a taxation happens, I'm sent tokens. I got to sell off the tokens in order to pay the BUSD. That has some chart impact associated with it. But to answer that piece, yes, that's 50% of my liquidity pool. Now, the other 50%, and where I'm really trying to get everybody to go so it doesn't impact the chart really, is the Novation platform. You're going to hear that championed across all 7 of my socials through the teams or blogs. We really want people to utilize the Novation platform and really get that name out there. And here's why. The Novation platform has a sell less approach to their contract. So what that means is I don't receive tokens that I have to sell off in order to pay my BUSD rewards. I receive BNB and it never impacts the chart. All I got to do is a simple conversion to pay people. So how that works is we understand how Pancake Swap works. If you pay $1,000 for Pancake Swap with my tax rate, $200 worth of tokens comes to me. I then have to sell off those tokens in order to pay the BUSD rewards and the other pay the bills within the token. On the Novation side of the house, if that same 1,000 BUSD buy, the purchaser sees no difference. They're going to get 800 BUSD worth of tokens regardless. But the only difference is Novation taxes the BNB on the way in. So they don't send me tokens. They send me BNB from the front end taxation piece. So I get the BNB up front. So I'm only going to give additional positive impacts to the chart when I got to buy tokens to put in my staking pool or buy tokens for liquidity or whatever the case may be. And it's a simple conversion onto BUSD. So yes, there will be some impacts to the BUSD conversions, but we're aiming for it to be very little and really trying to get people to move to Novation. We're looking at about 4 to 5 months down the road. We're launching with the split liquidity to get our name everywhere, right? We want to be available everywhere. But as we get legs up underneath us and we get stronger, and we talk to our VIP advisory council, which I'll explain that here in a minute. But we're probably going to look at consolidating 100% of our liquidity pool with Novation and really grasping the strength behind that sell less contract, because numbers don't lie, man. Math is math, right? A word might mean 3 different things in 4 different languages, but numbers are always going to be the same. So, and at the end of the day, we want to take care of the holders, and I think that's the best approach.
Yeah, I believe that's really a cool idea and a good approach uh, to give away to reward the holders with BUSD with a stable coin, and I think it's a great idea. And could you please tell us what is the minimum amount of tokens one need to hold to be eligible for the 10% BUSD dividends? And do they need to claim it themselves or it will be transferred to their wallet automatically?
Good question. So, every holder of Master Key Finance tokens are going to be qualified for awards. And now we have. I know you said 4 to 5. It's actually 6 to 7 different flows of BUSD. Like I said, I'm constantly going to underpromise and overdeliver every step of the way. So we just revealed that about 2 or 3 weeks ago. So now it's 6 flows of BUSD with a possible 7th, depending on your bag or your purse size. So the way this is going to work is if you hold tokens, you are eligible for all 6 of the flows. If you hold 500 billion or more, you're eligible for the 7th flow of BUSD. There's a lot of other things going on. Like one of those flows of BUSD is our merchandise line. 75% of all the gross revenue created from the merchandise line goes right back to the holders. So in any profit, 75% of any profit goes right back to the holders. We are really, when we say we're trying to be or we will be the most passive income rewarding token in DeFi, damn it, we mean it. And that's going to happen. So, hopefully that kind of answered that little piece of question. I know I throwed some extra sauce in there, but if I didn't scratch the itch, please ask me again.
No, no, that's absolutely 100% clear. And let's talk about Master Key Coin Marketplace, what it is, and how can users list their tokens to be sold or swapped to other users, and what are the incentives they are gonna get from Master Key Coin Marketplace?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So we don't call it the marketplace. We changed the name to the portal. When I say marketplace, a lot of people have this uh, misconstrued, perceived notion of what that is, right? If I say marketplace, you automatically assume you know what that is. Well, the portal is unlike any marketplace. So we changed the word, we changed the naming. It actually has an acronym um, to actually mean something. So we want people to come poke around and look at it. Now, what they're able to do in the portal is really several things. The holder can sell a token, trade a token, buy a token, or soft stake a token all through the portal. Now, the soft staking functionality in itself is utility number 2. So I'm going to talk about utility 1 first. So utility 1 is the actual portal, the buy, sell, trade function of the portal. Now, what happens in here is, we've all got tokens or coins that we've bought that, we might be in a down market on, we might have lost some equity on, whatever the case may be, that we're trying to at least break even or maybe do a little bit better than that. And the portal is going to facilitate that process. It's going to give the holder a place to go and try to recoup some of their funds. It's also going to give value to tokens that may be losing value or have little to no value. As long as they're whitelisted into the portal, that means they've passed the vetting process and the third-party audit requirements and all those other requirements to get into the portal. So right now, if I was to bought token X, I'm going to say hypothetically, for 100 BUSD 6 months ago, and today it's worth 50 BUSD, I simply have that. I have a token worth 50 BUSD at that point. If I wanted to offload the token or sell the token, I'm really hamstrung to whatever KEX or DEX I was to choose, and of course the additional taxation requirements that go along with that. Well, the portal kind of changes that up a bit. I'm going to let you come in here and say, hey, I have token X. I want 100 BUSD for it. Now you got to ask yourself, who would give 100 BUSD for something that they could go to a KEX or DEX and buy for 50? Well, the answer is they probably wouldn't. But MasterKey is going to incentivize the entire process. First off, as a holder that's making the listing of token X, I'm going to reward you with MasterKey Finance tokens on a one-to-one match, not to exceed 10 million a day. And it'll grow by that increment daily. That's just the benefit for actually making the listing in the portal. Then what we're also going to do is we're going to place a bounty against that token. So token X would then receive a bounty. Now the bounty amount's always going to match half of whatever the reward is. In this scenario, 10 million max was the reward. So half of that would be 5. So we would place an additional 5 million MasterKey Finance token bounty against token X. That would grow by that increment daily. Sooner or later, the bounty was going to be high enough. It's going to entice someone to make that purchase, especially as the value of MasterKey goes through the roof, which I actually absolutely expect it to do, due to the own functionalities within the utilities. So that they're going to entice them enough to make that purchase. Now, for token X, you can ask for BNB. That's going to be a whitelisted token. Whatever number of BNB or decimals of BNB to total that BUSD amount. Or they can ask for a trade for whatever other tokens are whitelisted into the contract. The best part about the entire thing is I am a transaction-based, a transfer-based transaction. So I dodge the buy tax, I dodge sell tax. Now I am partnering with other platforms, several of them actually. I got like 4 phone calls today that want to partner with me. And if somebody's interested, we have a DAO on our website. If we're not listing your token and you want them to come and talk to us, please have them talk to us. But what will happen is all the transactions within the portal happen at a 2% tax rate. That's all of them do. So in other words, to list into the portal, we're going to tax that token 2%. To buy is 2%. So 2% tax rate is the lowest that it will be, but the highest will never be higher than 60% of whatever that token is. For instance, yesterday I partnered with a token that had a 15% buy tax and a 15% sell tax. Well, in this scenario, what I did was I said, okay, I'm going to charge 9% to list tax and 9% to buy tax. Now, that's better than any other tax that's out there, period, for that specific token when it comes to selling or buying that token. And I'm taxing it internal to my contract at 9% in and 9% out. Technically, I'm taking a high tax rate and dividing it between two people. Now, at the end of the day, I have collected a total of 18% from that one transaction. 9 and 9, 18%. I'm going to keep 2% because that's what rewards one of my reward triggers inside my portal. But I'm going to send the 16% back to that platform that partnered with me to ensure that their holders and then their bills are paid and their platform's not hurt nefariously by that action. So it's a phenomenal system. It really is. It's the cheapest buy. It's the cheapest sell tax you can possibly get out there. It allows the holder to kind of name their price, because I'm not saying not only am I going to tax you at a set rate, but I'm going to require you to sell it for a certain rate. No, I'm not doing that. Now, whatever your asking price is, it may be in in the portal for a day and it might be in there for 100 days. So you got to understand that as whatever your asking price is or your trade amount is. But the holder has that flexibility. And it's really just powerful across the board. We plan to have a very large tranche of whitelisted tokens out the gate, but we have DAOs that's going to say, hey, if we're not scratching the itch, if you want a certain token listed, enter it in the DAO. From there, that DAO, that data gets handed over to my VIP advisory council, which is comprised of all of my private cell holders, my true grassroots firms, platform, and base of the platform. Uh, they go through because I have people from all walks of life and very big leaders and shot callers in this private cell group. I mean, the likes of Tribal Lad owns a private cell slot inside my group. So if you follow Tribal Lad as an investor influencer, you understand that he makes some pretty good calls. So he's a private cell owner in the group. But what they'll do is they'll dissect these recommendations to add to the portal. Pros, cons, good or bad, it doesn't matter. Now that doesn't disqualify any token, but we take that data and we kick it over to our dev team. At that time, they do a deep dive. Our utility 3 is going to be our master lock auditing service. It won't launch until the end of January time frame, but every token that's going to be partnered with us that'll go into the portal will receive a free master lock audit. So we'll audit them for free. We'll ensure that there's nothing crazy in the code that's going to be malicious to the contract. We will then discuss at that point. The CEO and I will discuss with the other CEO. Hey, where are we at? What's your tax rate? This is what I'm thinking, and then set a schedule of when they make that payment. Now, these platforms are doing different things with their rewards. Some of them are making airdrops. Some of them are, going ahead and cashing out the 4% BUSD rewards and feeding their reward contract so that their holders aren't hurt by the transaction. But it's on the platform to decide what they do with that. Technically, I have no right to tell them what they're going to do. As far as the 2% we collect, we do plan to, sell that off and make it a rewards distributor inside the portal. So that's kind of the portal in a nutshell. It's very complex, but I try to make it as layman terms as I can because it is very busy. It's 5 different smart tracks with 4 different rewards distributors inside this entire package. But that's the portal in a nutshell.
Oh, that's really cool. Everything is like a see-through glass through which we can see clearly. And thank you for giving the examples. It clears a lot of things about Master Key Finance Portal. So it's really a cool idea, so people can list their tokens and sell them. And let's talk more about this specific concept. Could you please explain about who are the loyalty holders and what are the benefits they can get from being a loyalty holder of MKF? How one can participate in a loyalty holder program you guys have?
Yeah, so we tried to make this extremely fair, right? So we call it the flex reward. That's that 7th flow of BSD rewards. So to explain everything to everyone, so all of the master key tokens that are inside the portal, whether they're being rewarded for soft staking, whether they're being rewarded for a portal post, or they're a bounty. So it's 3 different tranches, if you will, that's getting master key tokens. All of those tokens are receiving rewards, right? It's almost like a self-licking ice cream cone for the most part. And when the portal pays out, it pays those tokens as well. The BUSD buy sells, all of those are receiving rewards. Well, all of those rewards are collected into one distributor within the portal. We call it the rewards distributor inside the portal. So the portal distributor. Now that distributor will pay out daily. Hell or high water, it pays out daily. To qualify for 10%, all you got to do is be a holder of master key. You don't even have to use the portal. To qualify for the 25%, again, you don't have to use the portal. But the limit factor is you have to own 500 billion or more master key tokens to qualify for that 25% daily dump of that rewards distributor. So that's pretty powerful. But then we took it a step further. We're not paying that 25% based off purse size. I don't care if you have 501 billion or you have 25 trillion. If you bought that much at launch, because the largest purse at launch will be 3 trillion. I don't care what that difference is. If you qualify, you both get the same slice of the pie. So it's kind of a being fair across the board. If somebody can, struggles to get to that 500 billion, but they get there, hey, that's all you need to qualify for that massive rewards payout. And I think it's going to be big. So, and I don't think it'll be a very large population either. I mean, it just won't be unless you get a whitelist or you're part of my private sale crew, it's going to be extremely hard to get to that 500 billion mark unless you're real fast and you're up front at launch. I mean, this thing's gonna go quick. So, but being there and setting that goal for people to build their purse till they get to that 500 billion is going to be powerful. Now, people might ask, okay, Jay, you just told me about 35%. So it's important to say too that if you qualify for the 25%, you're still getting the 10%. So technically, you're getting 35% of that daily rewards payout. But when people ask about the other 65%, what's happening there? And that's a good question. A large portion of that is really going to be set to build a liquidity pool that is internal yet external, that is designed to back the portal itself. So I've got several rewards factors that are a slice of that's going to that. And we've seen what's happened in the last 72, 96 hours. Like I said, it is the wild, wild west. And I do think our security is bar none. I got one of the best dev teams in the country. That being said, I do understand that when it comes to a developmental standpoint, if you can think it, it can be done. So I'm always on guard for expecting the worst case scenario. And the worst case scenario is that something nefarious happens to the portal. That's why we're setting up this external yet internal liquidity pool that its sole purpose is to back the portal if something was to happen, so that I can, go back to the holder and say, hey, it was all captured on the blockchain. The portal, every portal transaction is captured on the blockchain. We can see a snapshot in time what had happened. This is what you had. Here's your compensation for it, and really trying to make right the best we possibly can. And I think that's powerful in itself. So that's where a large portion of that, and of course, development doesn't stop. I've already talked about utility 3, which is not even in a white paper yet. But utility 4, 5, and 6 are already in development, and probably anywhere from 20. Utility 6 is about 20%, where utilities 3 and 4 are above 90% for both of them, and 5 is probably right around 50%. So we haven't stopped development just because of launch. So this is a old machine. We're looking to be around for a decade, not a year. So we're not a one-shot wonder. We're not running on Ponzi scheme tactics of the first guys in get the most money. We're banking on people buying at hype, and that it just keeps paying forward and dangling a carrot with promises and smoke and mirrors about this is coming, that is coming, win this, win that. Man, I ain't doing none of that song and dance snake oil bullshit. I'm telling you, this is what we're going to do. I'm not going to give you a roadmap. I don't believe in them because they're never met, and it only pisses off your holders. But I'm going to constantly underpromise and overdeliver every step of the way. And I think that's a major step in that process. But as far as the flex rewards are concerned, if you're capable of securing 500 billion, that is the 7th payout, and it's probably going to be a very enticing and a large payout that's going to come daily.
Yeah, that's really huge. But I want to understand the mechanism of swapping the tokens on the portal, because if someone be listing out tokens or someone is buying the tokens, I think a specific token also has its own buy or sell tax percentages. So when a seller want to swap or sell its tokens to another user, will those buy or sell tax associated with that token are applied when the transaction is being made? Because there might be a transfer tax associated with that token.
Correct, right? So when I do a full partnership with a platform, I'm whitelisting my portal to negate the transfer tax requirements. Because what I want to do is not do away with their transfer tax, if you will, but I want to divide that transfer tax between two different holders, the one that's selling and the one that's buying. As far as the buy sell tax, that's a non-starter, so it won't happen in my contract, because you understand I'm a transfer-based trade. That's not a swap; it is a trade. If it was a swap is a 1-for-1. This is a trade. I might be trading 100 of X and I want 200 of Y, but maybe it's only worth 100 of Y. Maybe it's worth 300 of Y. I don't care, because really I'm putting that power in the holder's hands to set their asking price and to set what they want. I'm enticing that asking price by putting a bounty against it. But the only tokens they're going to be able to choose for a payment, whether it be BNB or a token, is tokens that have been whitelisted to the contract, that have gone through that vetting process to ensure that nothing nefarious would happen, like I mentioned earlier. Now, that's not a set tokens that'll be in the portal. That'll grow over time. And we may remove tokens if no one's used it in 90 days. We may remove that token from the portal. We want to try to keep it manageable, probably around anywhere from, oh, I don't know, 400 to 600 at the height of tokens allowed into the portal, because we want to give the flexibility, but we also don't want just something, a hanging chat out there that has no viability because nobody's utilizing it either way. It's just taking up space at that point. As far as the transfer tax is concerned, if I add a token to the portal that has a transfer tax and no partnership, one, you're going to know there's no partnership. They won't have the master lock audit badge. So basically, it's just going to be, there'll be a note there when you make the transaction of, hey, we do not control the taxation that this token may or may not impose on this transaction. There's nothing I can do about that. That is part of that base tokens process. Now, as holders grow, my holders count grow, they're going to be my biggest advocates for trying to get tokens to come on board and partner. I mean, it's a win-win. I'm going to ensure you get your taxes. I'm going to give a better rate to your holders. You're still going to be able to pay your rewards functions. I'm going to give you a free audit, badge, certificate to roll with it. And I'm not just giving that to you. I'm actually going to conduct the audit. I got one of the best audit teams in the country. I just haven't, broke them out of the cage yet and let them operate. And really, that's going to be the power behind it. Is yes, the whitelisted tokens is going to be the way to go, because we're really trying to partner to negate all taxes so that we can pose internal taxes to really divide that rate between two people and not just one in, one out, and they're both getting a very high tax rate. And it's really not fair, because if you choose that route, I can only sell it for this much because I am selling it at a catch or a dex, and it's really, this is my option, and I have no other options. I can't, if I go to trade out for a stable coin right now, it's going to give me the exchange rate. I can't say, well, I want 10 more than that. They're going to say, well, okay, then decline the transaction. But on my platform, you can set the rate of whatever you want. The token will sit there in the portal until somebody's willing to give that amount based off the bounty that grows over time. Do you understand what I'm saying now?
Yeah, I completely understand, because I think it's good to get some rewards as well by the portal instead of just selling them on other webs. And I have seen some tokens that are being lying in the people's wallet, and they can't even sell them, or they don't find a platform where they can sell them for benefits. So you guys are giving them rewards for selling or swapping their tokens. I think it's like a unique idea, and uh, I never have listened to this kind of idea before. So it's a great thing.
Yeah, and it's selling or trading, right? The swap's a one
Yeah,
for one. A trade is whatever you want to trade for, right? And
yeah,
also, now I'm going to go into based off what you just said. We've all got tokens in our portfolio that we're diamond handed, right? We're not trying to get rid of. We got long term hopes for them, but they may not be making you money. Maybe they're not a reflection token. Maybe they're not a passive income token, or whatever the case may be. So we are also implementing a soft staking functionality now. This action is untaxed. I'm not going to tax that action. If you're holding on to the token and you're not looking to move it to a different holder, I'm not going to tax that process. And I've been very transparent to other platforms that I partner with. If they choose a soft stake, yes, there's a flat rate fee in and a flat rate fee out, but that's got designs to the master key token itself. But I am not going to tax that token to get in and that token to get out in the soft staking form. So let's say you have token B, and token B is something you want to maintain in your portfolio for a long time. And it happens to be whitelisted on my contract, because it still has to be whitelisted. You can go in there, pay the flat rate fee, which is $3 in BNB, the 10 million master key tokens, right? I give them my token case use. But what happens with those two is the $3, $1 goes to the rewards pool, $1 goes to the liquidity pool that I'm building to back the portal, and 50 cents goes to marketing, 50 cents goes to development. So very transparent on exactly what's happening with that money. The 10 million is sent to the buyback burn wallet of Master Key to increase in value, increasing over time. So if you think about it, every transaction is 20 million Master Key tokens burnt. So that'll add up quick, and it's really going to increase the value of the token. So that's a win-win for the long-term Master Key holders. But while that token's it's being soft take, when they soft take token B, I'm going to reward that at a 1-to-1 match, not to exceed 10 million. I mean, I'm going to give you something for holding on to your token, because we all have tokens we're holding on to that we think, damn, I wish I could get something just for holding on to this, even though I'm holding on to it for 2 or 3 years and I know I'm going to. Oh, now you can get something for that. it'll reward that process. And again, all those master key tokens that are in the soft staking pool, they're earning rewards as well, and they're feeding that rewards distributor. So that goes out to everyone. So it's a phenomenal system, really.
Yeah, absolutely. And I believe, are you in here, Jay, or you
Yeah, I'm here,
just
brother.
got cut out? Oh, I thought you just got cut out. Okay, and I believe a seller need to pay some fee in MKF tokens for listing the coins on the portal. And I also read on the white paper that, as you said just now, that a very low $3 transactional fee paid in BNB will be paid by the user for listings or soft staking the coin. So does it mean people need to buy the MKF token as fee plus $3 more in BNB for listing or buy the tokens? Because don't you think seller is enforced to pay more fee as compared to the buyer, which only give $3 fee for buying the tokens instead of seller that pays MKF tokens plus $3 as well?
So both the buyer and the seller have to pay the 10 million master key tokens. It's not just one or the other. So it's both. And really it's set up to give the case use to the token. If you go to the portal when you can at launch, these are going to be live at launch, right? This is not a promise I'm launching with. These things will be live at launch. But if you was to visit the portal, you launch day on the 10th of December. If you bought master key tokens and you ran to the portal, as soon as you connected to the portal, the options to be able to do things in the portal are only going to be available based off of whether or not you have master key tokens in your wallet. When it verifies you have master key tokens in your wallet, then you're going to see the options to be able to buy, browse, sell, trade, soft stake. All of those options will come up at that point. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. It's clear now. I was thinking before that the seller is enforced to pay more money as compared to the buyer, but now it's clear. And also I read the buyer will have the option to relist the tokens purchased to minimize taxation of the listed token. So if buyer decide to relist those tokens and want more tokens to be added in that pool, will he still need to pay $3 listing fee, or he can just add more tokens on while relisting the tokens purchased from a seller?
So basically, what I'm saying there is I won't impose a tax on the token. Now, if they change the listing in any form or fashion, if they add tokens, remove tokens, whatever the case may be, then yes, it will be retaxed. So that's a new transaction altogether. Uh, I have very strict guidelines that I've given to the devs because I can't leave loopholes that somebody will drive a Mack truck through or try to. So if any transaction amount is made, that adjustment's made, or if they try to finagle the numbers, or if they pull it out of the portal and put it in their wallet, at that point, that is a new transaction. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it absolutely makes sense. And yeah, I also read the longer a token listing is posted for trade or sale, the greater the MKF token bounty will be. So it got me thinking that what if someone lists the token on very high price that nobody dare to buy it, and when they feel the bounty gathered in the pool is enough, can they change the listing price for that listing token, or they need to relist the tokens on lower price by paying the fee again? And what does it mean by that a user may soft stake tokens for the sole purpose of the staking rewards? In this case, no bounty will be established. So please explain this idea
Yeah,
that is written on
absolutely.
white paper.
So if somebody makes
Yeah,
a listing and they're asking for an outlandish price, yeah, it's going to sit there for a long time. I'll be honest with you. For my holders, that's great because that's a lot of master key tokens that's earning rewards that's going to the distributor that's paying everybody, right? So the only one that's really losing out here is the individual who made the listing because they asked for a really crazy price. Now, at any time, they can terminate that listing. Now, to terminate that listing, it's the same fees. They pull it out. They still get the reward. However, the bounty at that point in time goes back to the bounty pool. It goes back to the staking pool to be rewarded to a different token. So you can't terminate an action and then reap the bounty rewards. It just doesn't work that way. The only way that the bounty rewards are paid out is if the asking price or asking trade is met. That's the only time that the bounty rewards are released. If the lister goes in and terminates the transaction, they get the reward. It's just like being soft staked. However, it's still taxed. That token is still an out tax, so that what would have been divided between two people, now that one person owns, and they do get the reward of master key tokens. Now for the soft staking, they can terminate that at any time. I am not saying you got to do this a minimum amount of days. There's no 30-day minimum amount. There's no 60-day minimum amount. There's no crazy ass APY smoke and mirror approach. I'm going to give you a 1-to-1 match not to exceed 10 million a day. I don't care if you do it for a day or you do it for 1,000 days. You're going to get a 1-to-1 match not to exceed 10 million a day. That's the best thing going. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to give you. I'm going to give you what I told you I was going to give you, and you're going to have what I told you I was going to give you when you pull out. That is fully transparent, 1-to-1 match not to exceed 10 million a day. I keep saying that because I think it's important. I don't think that people are really going to list crazy amount of tokens unless they just really want to dump their purse. They're fed up. They want to get rid of it. But I see users maxing out at 10 million because that's the max reward you're going to get in the portal or for soft staking. So it's kind of a low amount, but by design, because what I'm trying to do to help platforms as well is you want to increase your holder count. You want to increase visibility. You want your name out there. You want other people to have the token that might become a long-term holder. So by setting that low 1-to-1 match at 10 million, if I have 1 trillion tokens, I'm going to 10 million this thing to death. Now, it's designed where I can only make one listing from the same wallet at the same contract address at a time. I don't want somebody making 100 listings at 10 million a piece. That would be crazy. So one wallet can only make one listing of the same contract address at a time. Now, the one wallet can make 10 listings from 10 different contract addresses. That's absolutely possible. And one wallet can make one listing in the portal and soft stake from the same contract address at the same time. So by this approach, someone's going to buy that token X, but I still have token X because I only listed 10 million at a time. And from a platform standpoint, I just, in a sense, doubled my holder for everybody who utilizes the portal. So I think it's a great approach. And if you think about the second, third order effects and the possibilities here, you can see why. This platform has been tried to be buying from me. I've been offered three times now to have my platform bought, and I haven't even launched yet. I mean, even Volt and Novation tried to buy the platform. A group out in Dubai tried to buy the platform. So the big players can see the benefit here. They can see the long-term effects and how this is really going to catch fire and spread. And I just hope that I get as many people in from around the globe, not no one tight niche community, but really show our possibilities and get people in. If you missed the last big thing, if you look back and say, man, I wish I would have, well, man, here's your chance, right? This train's about to leave the station, and we're coming out at 100 mile an hour. So really trying to get the word out and get people on board before they miss a great opportunity to get on something that's, probably going to be one of the biggest shaker movers in 2023. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, the things you are saying, it's music to my ears. And yeah, I hope Elon Musk gives you an offer to buy your project that you can't deny. Okay. And I was wondering, will there be any governance mechanism where users can submit a proposal of a token that is not vetted by your team, so it can also be listed on your portal for rewards?
Absolutely. So, well, we won't. The only rewards given in the portal will be Master Key or BUSD. That's the only two rewards that's going to come out of the portal. I'm not going to get in the game of paying in another token or none of that other nonsense. I mean, to be honest with you, that's just another form of smoke and mirrors. Every time that transaction happens, there's skimming coming off of the bottom or the top and going in somebody's pocket. And I'm not going to do any of that. I'm going to be fully transparent the whole step of the way. So no additional or select what type of reward's going to happen. I will have a DAO on my website where if there's a token that you want to see listed that you think has viability in this space, and the user was to say, hey, I would like to see this token. Here's the address. It's a little form you got to fill out, and the benefits that you think that it brings, and what case uses does it have. I mean, you got options, right? Is it a meme token? Is it a utility token? Is it a passive income token? Is it a stable coin? And really, we're going to feed that information over to our VIP council. They're going to chop it to death, tear it apart, give their uncanny feedback, which is what we want. We want the truth. We have a lot of deep conversations in the VIP chat. We take that information, we package it up, send it over to the dev team. They take a full dev approach of it, kind of verify, confirm, or deny some accusations that might be there. And then at the end of the day, they make a recommendation to the core team in which we vote with the private counsel to decide, hey, yay or nay, do we go on this one or not? But I'll be honest with you, it's pretty straightforward, right? Or the third party audits, the KYC docs. We've already tore the contract code apart. Do they have utility? Are they just a Ponzi scheme? Are they willing to come to the table and talk? Do they want a full partnership? Or are we just going to list like the example you gave, are we going to list a token that has a high transfer tax? Probably not, because that would be nefarious to my holders. And I'm not, every decision we make, the holder is the first core team member. And I tell everybody that, right? So everything we do, we try to do, the holder has the first vote. What would make the holder the happiest? But yet, be fair and equitable across the board. Far too often we get that backwards, right? The holder's the last man at the end of the line, and everybody's taking their big bite. By the time he gets down there, he's holding an empty leg bone. So I really want to let the holder take the first bite and pass it the other way. I think it can be done. We've designed it that way, and the team we all see from the same lens on this: truth, trust, and transparency. We really try to echo that all the time. And then what problem in crypto are we fixing today, right? Unlocking all crypto possibilities. So we talk a lot. We talk frequent. We have very candid conversations with our VIP advisory council. That's, like I said, everybody that got in on the private sale, some heavy hitters in this space. They got the ear to the core team 24/7. The main chat, you might see the core team once, maybe twice a week. We'll pop in there, kind of have a little bit of chat, and then they got to go. But when the core team, when the VIP advisory channel pops up and somebody makes a statement, it's got the core team eyes immediately, and that's the guidance I've given out to the team. So that's kind of where we're at with getting tokens on. There will be a DAO, there will be a recommendation, but I think a lot of the pressure is going to come from the holders themselves to those platforms. Like, hey, we really want to utilize MKF platform, their portal. Would you please go into talks with them? And if that echoes enough, I mean, you might not listen to one member, but you're going to listen to 20 or 30 members. And that's really what it's going to take to until we're well known, until we're a household name, which I'm thinking about June, July timeframe of next year. We're going to be a household name. We're going to have our merchandise everywhere. They're having fun with it. They're talking about bobbleheads and T-shirts and stuff. So they're having a lot of good time with that. But if it's something you want to check out in the family, I mean, hell, we're already on TikTok, man. I mean, so we got all kinds of things going on. It's been great in this space.
Yeah, I think everything is pretty clear about the utilities you guys will have at the launch, and yeah, I really love the merchandises, and I would love to see the merchandises you guys will have. So, uh, I want to know that what more utilities can investors expect in the MKF ecosystem that can bring more value and incentives to the holders, apart from the two utilities about which we have discussed a lot in this CMA.
Absolutely. So the first one's going to be the master lock audit. And one of the things about the master lock audit is, hey, I'm giving 8%. 8% of the funds created from the master lock audit go to the holders. There's no other audit service out there that's doing anything remotely like that. So if you own Master Key, that's all you got to do is own Master Key. It's not a specific audit key, right? It's part of the entire ecosystem. So that I'm launching that at the end of January. We're offering it as a free service right now for those that do partner on the portal. Will that change over time? Probably. If you're not one of the first ones getting in the portal and taking advantage of that free service, there will probably be a charge, although a reduced charge. For example, and I'm not going to get in front of my devs here, but let's say that the basic package was $400. If you wanted to get into a portal, it'd be like $200. It'd be about half. But whatever it is, 8% of that's going to go to my holders. Now, if you have not inside the portal, or if you're on a different, let's say ETH or Palm or something along those lines, and you're looking for an audit, something that wouldn't be introduced into the portal until the bridge is built, you're looking at a higher payment. But at that point, 8% is still going to my holders. So that's utility 3. Utility 4, I'm not ready to talk about yet, but I will tell you that everybody's going to love the hell out of it. Utility 5 does not exist in the crypto space, but is absolutely needed. We will be the first in that space. And if you're a long-time crypto holder, if you're looking at, what happens to me when I leave this life and what's going to go on with my crypto, or if you're trying to take care of family members, you're absolutely going to be involved in that and love that one. And crypto utility 6 is man, I'm not even going to go down that road because that's going to be revolutionary in itself, and it's so far out that you let a good idea go, and a kick-ass dev can take your idea and really run with it in about 3 months. So that's what we're looking at right now, but so much coming. So, and everything's going to pay the holders of MKF, right? So all you got to do is hold the token. If you want to utilize the utilities, absolutely. But when this system gets built, I'm not staying in one trench. This is going to touch every corner of crypto and all the capabilities that it has in it, and even some of the capabilities that it don't have yet that we're bringing forward to the platform.
Okay, that's really great. The innovative utilities you guys will be launching or uh, creating more and bringing them in the Master Key Finance is super great. Okay, one thing I want to clear it up from you that on your white paper, I read that 3% of the total supply representing the core team wallets will never be sold, but in the tokenomics section, it says 4% team contracted work. So which one among these them is true?
They're both true. So the 30 trillion tokens that are never sold, they're blacklisted. They can't be sold. That's basically our paycheck. I'm gonna be honest with you. So we're living off the BSD rewards going to that 30 trill. That's for the entire core team and some of the extended team, but can never be sold. The 4% contracted, largely in part contracted work that's coming from the buy-sell taxation. You just got to understand that the development I just talked about. So we're 100% U.S. based. So most of our 99.9% of our work is done in the U.S. Has to be because of our partnership with sister nations and trying to do everything right by the tax man. So a large contract bill for a lot of this stuff. I do have a great dev team, but there are some specialities that we're bringing forward to the crypto space that don't already exist in the crypto space, and a lot of legal counsel and CPA activity as far as getting prepared for the SEC if they bring down the hammer to ensure that we're positioned the right way for the long-term haul. So that's really more contracted than anything. What that's for. So both are correct. I'm not trying to hide that fact at all, but it's very needed and validated. But I think with the other rewards mechanisms, it's very well offset. So it's not a greed move by no means.
Okay, understood. And I have one or two more questions, and then we'll move on to the audience questions. Uh, it's kind of a suggestion, but I'm curious to know that will you be allowing people to list their NFTs on the portal as well? And one of the problem I see in the NFTs is that projects have mystery boxes that people buy for some higher prices, open it, and if it is a normal NFT, a common one, and they wanted to sell again on the portal, very few people will be buying that on such lower prices as compared to the original one. So I think there should be a mechanism that people can wrap those NFTs back into the mystery boxes again and relist on the marketplace for some lower prices as compared to the original price on which they bought that NFT.
I will tell you this. NFT issues is one of the utilities that we are bringing forward, and that one will come out. Let me do the math in my head here right quick. The late April, early May timeframe.
Okay,
That is
that's
the NFT approach is in fact utility four. So we know, we see it, we understand it, but in the same, there's people that have minted 100 NFTs that are, maybe the problem with an NFT is it's a digital baseball card. It's absolutely worth what somebody is willing to give for it. It's also worth whatever the holder believes the value is, right? There's no market that dictates this NFT. There's not an NFT market, if you will, to kind of give a guideline to a holder on what he or she may have. It doesn't mean it's a bad thing. I'm not in the game of Pokemon cards and baseball cards, but in the fact of the matter is people are. And I really want to create a platform now where the average NFT creator can compete with some of the biggest NFT creators in this space and really place their products out there. So, yeah, we're looking at it. It will have a tie to Master Key Finance tokens, and it will have a similar twist to what we're looking at now in the Master Key portal.
Yeah, I think a great potential is in the NFT marketplace and NFTs, but everybody is using the concepts like like metaverse or NFT in a simpler form because people think that if they are if they are gonna add metaverse word with their project, it's gonna be a huge, but they don't understand the real potential and they don't implement it in real form. Okay, one last question from my side, and then we'll move to audience questions as we're
Okay.
already running out of the time. Okay, and MKF is gonna launch on December 10. So please tell our community members how they can participate in the pre-sale, and are all 400 whitelist spots are claimed by the investors? Also, what is the min and max buy for the pre-sale?
Absolutely. So pre-sale is going to be at 10 a.m. Eastern on the 10th of December, exclusively on the Novation platform. And if you've ever never messed with the Novation platform, it makes Pink Sale look like child's play, right? It's pretty squared away. It's fun to play with. We do have some whitelist slots remaining. I don't know what that amount is, but here, let me tell you a little bit about the whitelist slots first. There are only a total of 400 whitelist slots. That's a taxless sale, 350 billion tokens to one BNB. Minimum buy is zero point 0.1 BNB. Max buy is 5. Now, we were, like I said, there's only 400. The hard cap's 800 BNB. So really, if everybody got in, everybody could buy two beans, but that's not going to happen, right? The first 160 could absolutely max it out and buy all 800. We know that's a possibility too. So we're really trying to spread that wealth. We think this thing's going to be gone in seconds. All the experts are saying it's going to be gone in seconds. So we're trying to drag that out a little bit longer than that. So what we've done is we're going to make two waves, if you will. The first wave will have 1 solid minute. The second wave will have up to 2 minutes. And then if we're don't meet hard cap for whatever reason, we'll release to the public after the 3-minute mark. To make it interesting, we're giving away two 1,000 BUSD rewards to just the whitelist holders. So if you buy two beans or more, you qualify for one of those prizes to be selected for one of those prizes. If you buy three beans or more, you qualify for both 1,000 BUSD prizes. Be selected by a randomizer. We can see it. We got control of all the data. So we're going to give away 2,000 BUSD based off of a lucky buyer. And to be truth being told, probably somewhere between 250 to maybe 300 are actually going to get in and be able to participate. So that's pretty good odds to win 1,000 BUSD. Now, how do you get a whitelist slot? Because that's the question I always get asked. I'm giving away 10 of them today on this platform. So, brother, Black Adam, you got 10 slots you can give away. I don't care how you do it, but you got 24 hours to do it. And that data is going to have to be sent to my CMO, who I believe just chimed in on the chat here, or he's actually chimed into the AMA. Send her a note saying, hey, a direct message. Here's my 10 wallet addresses with the ats. So we try to keep track. We're going to try to send out a reminder as well. So with the ats. But if you don't one of the 10, you didn't get lucky enough, Black Adam didn't pick you by however his means are, head on over to our Telegram. The CMO, she is having a field day with that action. So all kinds of crazy things, from a crazy math problem to, hey, send me a DM, execute these tasks, I'll give you a whitelist slot. So we're really trying to spread the wealth and not just make it a well frenzy, but everybody get a little bit of love. So that's how the whitelist is set up.
Yeah, thank you so much for considering our community members for the 10 whitelist spots, and some huge incentives for the investors as well in the pre-sale. So before we get to audience questions, is there anything that we have not covered that you would like to add?
Nah, man, I think you've done a pretty good job. You dissected the white paper pretty well. I will tell you this: going through revisions, no major changes, just a lot of aesthetics and clarifications, and that should all be consolidated by the end of the week before launch. We're doing a great big UI graphics all over. So there's a lot of commercials out there right now, a lot of things going on. So you're going to constantly see new materials, which is pretty phenomenal. So we're pretty excited about it. But now I'm ready for some questions, and then I'll wrap it up at the end.
Yeah, thank you so much. Okay, so community members, please raise your hands for asking the questions. We have 0.5 BNB in the rewards pool to be given away at the end of this session for some best questions, and also few wheel spins for the people who are participating in this AMA session. Okay, let's unmute some people. I see a lot of people are raising their hands. So let's go Jeff Walter too. So Jeff Walter, you are unmuted, bro. Jeff Walter, you're unmuted.
Hello, Adam. Am I audible?
Yeah, we can. Yeah, Jeff.
Great. Yeah, nice. I was listening to you guys, and I must say, Adam, you're doing a very great job. Very good questions were asked, and very good
We
answers.
can't hear you quite well, Jeff Walter. You need to.
Okay, am I audible now?
Yeah, yeah, it's better.
Okay, I was saying great stuff to you, Adam, and the project itself. You asked very good questions, and also great answers were given to you. So, my question is kindly based on the investors. I mean to say, the potential investors. When I'm talking about the potential investors, I mean to say people who have enough interest in the project but do not have the funds to invest or to buy the tokens. So, what privileges do these ones have? Are there some kind of a referral system where these ones can get to invite people to buy your tokens, and as a result of this, they get some percentage of the token?
Hey, great question. Yeah, so I partnered with a company that's going to go live about probably mid-January timeframe. I think we're first in the shoot. We're one of the ones that they're going to really focus in on and utilize right off the bat. We've already set their funds aside. We're ready to use them. So what I've done is I've set 10 trillion tokens off to the side to be received as rewards for those in a referral system-based type action. So this company's pretty cool. So if you go through the website and you buy a minimal amount, right? Whatever that amount is, whatever you can afford, be it, let's say it's 5 BUSD, 10 BUSD, whatever the case is. At point in time, you're going to be offered a code. Hey, if you here, do you want a code? You can say yes or no for a extremely small fee. I think like pennies. You get this code. Now, if you hand that code out to friends and family and they use that code, it's going to take them to the website, but it's going to identify them as utilizing your code. If they buy, I'm going to give whoever's code that is some of that 10 trillion. They're going to pay out in a percentage. I don't know what the percentage is yet. I think it's going to be about 5%. So if they buy $100 worth, you would get $5 worth of Master Key tokens, and we would give that to the individual who actually gave out the referral code. So I'm a firm believer in grassroots word of mouth. I think that's the best way to go when you're trying to get the word out there about your product. I'm not a It's very few marketing platforms like this one are viable. There's a lot of scams out there. So, the fact that you're dialed in here means you found a good AMA platform. But I will tell you that most AMA platforms are not good platforms. So, but when I have somebody who actually holds my token, that's shilling my token, that I can give them the benefit and pay that reward to them, I'll write that check all day long. Right? I'd rather give my rewards to people who are shilling the product versus giving it to a platform that I don't know what the ROI or the return on investment would be. So yes, to answer your question.
So, okay, thank you so much, Jeff Walter, for your great question. And now we have Arham. Arham, you are unmuted.
Thanks, Adam. Our question for Jay. I was wondering, will users also be able to list NFTs for selling like any other token on your marketplace as well in future?
That is the plan, yes, but that's going to be utility number 4. So we're probably looking at about the April-May timeframe, but it'll have the same approach, the same feel, the same flavor as the master portal, and it'll be just as phenomenal and just as rewarding too. So it's going to turn on. My goal is to have close to 20 streams of BUSD flows by the end of 2023, just by simply holding master keys. So the ecosystem is going to be massive. When I say the launch, the pre-sale and the launch is just a stepping stone, I mean that. I really that's mildly entertaining to me at this point because I'm looking on the horizon at what am I bringing forward to holders that I know I'm going to have. But yes, NFTs is one of them.
Wonderful. Thank you so much and best of luck.
Okay,
Much
thank you so
appreciated.
much. Yeah, thank you. Okay, now we have Nathaniel. Nathaniel, you're unmuted, man.
Uh good day, Jay. Good day, Black Adam. I must really comment. The Master Key Finance is definitely bringing a lot to the DeFi space, and I'm very happy with that. But I'll go straight to my question without wasting time. My question is, how do you intend to change the use cases inside the Master Key Finance for investors to certainly see DeFi differently? Will you give value to already existing tokens? And do you also have a design backup plan for the bear market?
I've said it a million times and I'll continue to say it. The fact that we're in a bear market is mildly entertaining to me. And here's why. I built this thing with the team in a bear market to perform in a bear market. So this is going to perform in the worst of bear markets. Arguably, right now, we're probably in the worst bear markets we've been in some time. And I have no doubt that this thing's going to perform. The case use and utilities are needed in this space, and they're needed in this space during a bear market. So I think that's going to work hand in hand. Outstanding. As far as my case use and utilities, if crypto was a toolbox, I want to be the damn hammer in that toolbox, right? I want to be that one tool that everybody's got in the toolbox because it's the one thing that's going to be some shape or form viable to that portfolio. I want to be the ray of light to go through when things are dark. If something starts to tank, I don't want somebody to worry about running away from an anniversary dinner to jump on the phone to sell their tokens because it's starting to tank. I want them to shrug their shoulders and say, okay, I got Master Key Finance. I'll put it on the portal later. I'll break even. That's the value that I'm going to bring to the space. But hey, good question, man.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Can I ask my last question, please? Okay.
Yeah, go
I
on.
said my last question is okay. Thank you. My last question is
But
you said Master Key token. Reading from your website, you said is the most income rewarding DeFi token in the modern era, according to your website. So is that certainly a kind of a hype? And talking about your reward system, are tokens minted in the process?
No, I'm not minting tokens. My total supply is one quad. It's not hype. It's reality. I'll be honest with you. The 10% BUSD rewards from buys and sells is an added benefit. The benefit is the utilities that I'm bringing forward. That's what everybody should be striving for when they buy this token. The second, third order effects of the bonus is the BUSD buy sell taxation, right? So that's a bonus. The utilities, when utilized, are going to create such a cash flow. It's going to be phenomenal. So, again, getting in early, the best price is going to be up front. I said it earlier. I'll say it again. We all look back and say, man, I wish I would have got in on a bet. Name your token that done very well. This is going to be revolutionary in this space. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people that try to copycat it, but I'm not going to release the papers to my secret sauce. But the fact of the matter is, we're going to shake this space to the core. We're going to break the laws of gravity and really go after the Kex and Dexes to where they're going to have to change the way they do things just to compete with us. We're not competing with them.
Wow, wow, wow. I think this is pretty great. Thank you very much for answering my question. Master Key Finance to the moon and also to the Jupiter also. Thank you very much, Black
Appreciate it,
Adam,
buddy.
and thank
Thanks.
you. Yes, thank you very much.
okay, Jay. A lot of people are raising the hands, so if you're comfortable, we can take one or two more questions.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Go ahead. And I'll be honest, I'm going to throw this out there too. Hey, if you don't get your question asked today, by all means, head on over to our Telegram, ask the question. A lot of my VIP chat members that jump in and out of there all the time, they might jump on and answer your question. My core team's floating around. I got a great mod team. Somebody will answer your question if you don't get it asked here today.
Yeah. Okay. I have already unmuted Dia. Yeah, Dia, you can ask your question.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Dia.
Yes, I can.
My question is, I want to know, will only native token going to be accepted for buying tokens listed on marketplace, or other cryptocurrencies like BNB and BUSD are also accepted, and will seller going to have the opinion of selecting the cryptocurrencies they want payments in?
So yeah, so inside the portal, right? So as a holder that makes the listing, you can choose any token that's going to be whitelisted as payment and the nomenclature of how many of those you want as payment. Now, I will not have BUSD whitelisted because inside a smart contract, when BUSD is the primary driver for rewards, which is what my contracts pay out in, it gets very confusing. And what I don't want is somebody's payment being paid out of as a reward inadvertently. So BNB will be whitelisted, so that's separate from my payout of BUSD. So the BNB won't confuse or cause any problems inside the smart contract. So you'll be able to ask for a BUSD amount in BNB, both stable coins, or any other token that is listed, whitelisted on the contract, if that makes sense.
I hope it makes sense, Thea. Thank you so much for your question, and we'll take one last question. Yeah, innocent boy, you are unmuted. Innocent boy, we can't hear you. If you're in here,
Hello, can you hear me?
yes, we can.
My question is, do token being listed for selling has to have minimum required value, or token with any value can be listed for selling?
As long as the token is whitelisted to the portal, that value is between the holder and the buyer. That is totally, I need you to think of it as like a flea market, right? I'm selling the table. I don't care what you put on the table or what you ask for it. I'm just selling you the table. I'm providing the means of a way and the means of actually getting something done in that space. I'm not going to put parameters on if you're going to list this token. It has to be of this value rate. If the holder wants to list a Bitcoin for $50 or $50,000, that's up to that holder. Are there going to be deals like that out there that happen? Absolutely. Are there going to be crazy deals? Absolutely. But all that's going to do is keep the reward system inside the portal going, but it is on the holder to name their value and the quantity of that value, if that makes sense.
Okay, thank you so much, innocent boy. And one last question. So
Thank
who
you.
should get unmuted? Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Okay, I see Dr. Wealth. Dr. Wealth, you're allowed to speak. Dr. Wealth, if you have a question, you can ask it. You're unmuted. I see your mic is unmuted, but we can't hear you, Dr. Wealth. Sorry, we'll have to move on. Let's see who it is. Yeah, I see Ricky James. Okay, James, you can ask your question. You are unmuted.
Hello, Black Adam.
Yeah, hello.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Hello, Jay. What's good? I've been on the AMA ever since, and I would say it's really an interesting AMA. I really appreciate what you guys are bringing to the table. You guys are really doing a great job.
Hey,
So,
thanks, man. I appreciate that.
okay. So there's this question I really want to know real quick. It's concerning what is currently going on in the world as a whole and also in Africa. How are you planning on bringing your projects to some countries where English aren't spoken more frequently? Like, for example, you have Africa and some Asian countries where English aren't being spoken. How you plan on helping these countries see that your project is one of the best and holding on to your token for now is the best? How do you plan on doing that? I would like to know that before I ask my
I'll
second.
be honest with you right now. You know, through launch, We have not really taken an approach to address a specific niche in the world, really just trying to get out there in the space, but touch several different channels of communications, if you will. Now, will we grow over time and offer those different languages? Absolutely. Are we there yet? Absolutely not. We've been in development since January 8th, but we really haven't hit in the social media um, realm, I guess you could say, until about mid to late September. So we've really been at this really since about the mid to late September. We've been fully done with development of all the smart contracts of the first two utilities since about the end of October. So all of November was testing. Everything goes through a 3 test phase process. Now, between my CMO, she's a rock star, right? She's going to find the right talent to go to get our languages out there. Right now, we're really conversion all of our data and our websites and socials into one platform formed through social digital ocean. So it's basically a one-touch approach to everything. Once we get the conditions set, we will absolutely attach that. So that's one of those things that are earmarked as we get closer to Utility 3 coming out. So you won't see it before launch. It won't happen. But we want to be able to express what's going on in several different languages. Not so much a country. We can't really go after a certain country or demographic in that manner, but we can absolutely facilitate language speaking restrictions so that people can understand what we got going on.
That's a nice stuff you guys really are doing. It's really great. One fact I really appreciate that you guys have been in place since a long time. When you said January, it's really nice what you are doing. But what about your partnership? Are you with currently partnership with any big names in the space that would boost your project in order to help people know more about you guys?
Absolutely. So, travel ads and ambassador, as far as influencers go, we got Rush. We got a couple of heavy hitter ambassadors, but we're also full partnership with several different platforms. I mean, I think that's important, right? To show that coalition and strength. We can lean on one another, bounce ideas off one another, and really control kind of the temperament in the environment, if you will, as far as kind of control the narrative and help other platforms out. I think that's powerful. Platforms are going to have bad days, right? They're going to have low points and high points. And it's really, being the biggest cheerleader and the biggest supporter when those points happen to your partners to the left and right and coming in at that point of need and celebrating at that point of celebration. So I think that's crucial across. But yeah, and we're really turning the heads of some serious ambassadors in this space, and we're starting to catch their eye. And they're reaching out to us saying, hey, I'd like to talk about the coin. I would kind of let's build a partnership and really get on board with you. And that's important, right? So I think that's going to grow exponentially over time. We got some powerhouse AMAs coming up. I mean, Uniswap reached out. We're gonna do one with Uniswap here in the next day or so. So other platforms are really kind of seeing us and saying, okay, hey, this is an idea that we haven't seen yet. We want to know more about it. That's why I keep saying, I keep telling everybody, regardless of where you're at in this space, whether you think you're a whale or you're a minnow, getting in on this project early is going to be the way to go because it's absolutely going to revolutionize the space. It's going to be the biggest thing in 2023. I have no doubt. And I'm not saying that from a biased standpoint. I'm saying that as, we're not changing the space. We're bringing something. We're changing the laws of gravity in the space. So nothing new. Just how we do it is new, right? Really giving the power back to the holder to be able to say, no, man, I'm not doing that. I'm going to do this because this is what I think is right, and giving them the availability to do that on a secure third-party platform so they don't have to go out there and get the chance of getting scammed or run over.
That's really nice, bro. Jay, you are really doing a great job. I appreciate what you guys are doing. To the moon, you guys. Thank you very much for the answer. Thank you very much,
Thanks, man.
Black Hat.
Appreciate you.
I appreciate you guys. Great project.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much for some nice words, Ricky James. Okay, we are running out of the time, so it's been really great talking to you. It was our pleasure to have you in here. I really admire all the things you guys have. So it's been one of my favorite AMA. I really love the energy and unique idea of selling the tokens for bounty. So please state your last words for our community members that are listening in.
Hey, you bet, Adam. Hey, check us out, right? Go to our Telegram. If you, like I said, if you're not one of the 10 that Adam's going to give a whitelist slot to or give the opportunity for a whitelist slot to, Come to our Telegram, ask how to get one. You know, they got little tasks. She's doing all kinds of crazy things. Check us out on our socials. We are literally everywhere. We're on Telegram, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We are literally everywhere. Find us. Go to our blogs. Go to our Discord. Check us out. We got some great things going on. Get known in the space. Ask your questions if you didn't get a chance to ask it today, and really kind of get into the space and check us out. You want to get in early, but if you don't get in early, you know, we're taking off, and we're not going to stop taking off. So getting in at any time is the best time, but early is always the absolute best time. So check us out. Grab a whitelist spot. Be with us for the party on 10 a.m. Eastern on the 10th of December, this Saturday. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be great. It's going to be a fireworks show. I think it's going to go fast. We're going to give away some money, and we're going to start this endeavor together of rebuilding crypto and how they do things and making them do it the right way, giving the power back to the holder.
Yeah, that's really great. Thank you so much, Jay, for being in here. So community members AMS are for educational purposes, and now we'll move on to the giveaways. So let me get things settled for
Hey,
the
right
wheel spin.
quick, Adam.
Yeah,
I'm,
yeah, Jay.
I'm gonna have to break away, man. I got another meeting I got to go to. But if you would, my CMO, she's gonna shoot you a note. But if you can ensure that those ats and wallet addresses for the whitelist get back to her, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, I would be getting some wallet addresses from the some winners of for the whitelist spots, and I'll be forwarding those I'll be forwarding those wallet addresses to you shortly. Thank you so much for being in here.
Sounds good, buddy. Thank you.
Okay, so community members, we have a lot of great questions today from the community. I'm gonna spin the wheel for those best questions, and we'll pick two winners of the best questions, and we are gonna do some wheel spins for the participation. And I also have planned for the active participants who have been active this week, so I'll pick one or two active members who have been super active in the main chat. So let me bring the wheel up. Just a second, guys.